As we now officially leave the season of midterms, I came across a very, very good article in American Greatness by a scholar by the name of Dr. Paul DeQuinois, president of the Palm Beach Freedom Institute, entitled "Cheer Up Republicans, the Midterms Were Actually a Success. The GOP should disband its circular firing squad, get to work, and keep winning." And I thought that he put things into precisely the kind of perspective that we should all have coming out of all of this, at the very least, so that we can all just collectively laugh at the Republican establishment who are making utter fools of themselves. They have more in common with Liz Cheney and Nancy Pelosi than they do with us. Is it any wonder they haven't won an election in at least 8 years and they have the gall to lecture us? Now, we talked a bit about this in our last live stream Friday video, which you could check out, entitled "Big Wins That the Legacy Media Isn't Telling You About." It's a good supplement to this video. But here's DeQuinois' assessment of why the midterms indeed were a success. First and foremost, we won the House, okay? There's no way around this, and Election Desk has projected it, by the way. We flipped the House of Representatives, and that cannot in any way, shape, or form be thought of as a defeat. You know, don't let anyone tell you, especially the Murdoch freaks at Fox, who have a penchant at calling 2020 races rather early for Biden, earlier than they called Florida and Texas. Don't let them tell you otherwise. Under Trump's leadership, we won 2016 in a blowout. We gained seats in the Senate in 2018. Trump was only the fifth president in history to see gains in the Senate during a midterm. We came within a handful of seats of retaking the House in 2020, and now we've done just that. We've retaken the House in 2022, and that's after having to defend a record number of Senate seats. We had to defend 21 seats going into this. Democrats only had to defend 14. We had to defend over 20, and we lost 1. And in terms of who won in the House, according to this fellow, Dr. DeQuinois, 140 of the confirmed GOP wins in the House, roughly 2/3 of the total seats won, deny the results of the 2020 election. They include 15 newly arriving freshman members, one of whom, Wisconsin's Derek Van Orden, was a J6 protester, and he flipped a Democrat seat. In perhaps the most bizarre twist, given the reality painted by outlets like Fox News or National Review, it was the avowedly anti-Trump GOP congressman who most totally got eliminated this year. Of the 10 who voted to impeach Trump, only 2 will still be in office. And they did everything they could in their campaigns to avoid talking about their impeachment vote. Of the 8 others, 4 lost their primaries to Trump-endorsed candidates, and 4 didn't even have the guts to run again. It was the anti-Trump vote that got slaughtered in this election, not the pro-Trump vote. In terms of Kevin McCarthy getting elected speaker, he's been nominated. He's not been elected yet. He is now going to have to grovel to every single ultra-MAGA congressman and beg for their vote. And the only way he's going to get it is if he delivers on what they want, which is oversight committee positions to investigate every aspect of the Biden crime family, the corruption in the FBI, and the whole Fauci debacle. And he'll have no choice but to deliver on that promise. The irony in all this is that the smaller the Republican majority, the more leverage the ultra-MAGA members have over McCarthy. The ongoing investigations into Trump are now officially done in the House. And the days of the Kangaroo Court J6 committee have come to a decisive and cataclysmic end. Keep in mind, the battle for the Senate is not yet over. McConnell is doing everything he can to try to win favor back with the ultra-MAGA senators by pouring millions of dollars into Herschel Walker's runoff. And if Herschel Walker wins, that's going to put enormous pressure on Joe Manchin of West Virginia to switch parties in order to avoid a massive challenge from a Republican. And keep in mind, depending on what happens to Lisa Murkowski in Alaska, only about 3 of the 7 senators that voted to impeach Trump will still be around. As for the stars of the Democratic Party that night, Beto O'Rourke, Stacey Abrams, they were both decimated. They were destroyed. In fact, the only Democrat star to emerge out of the midterm elections was an embarrassingly incoherent, mumbling stroke victim. But when we turn to the state legislatures, things actually get even better. But first, make sure to click on that link below and visit the amazing patriots over at Goldco. If you have $50,000 or more in an IRA, 401k, or savings account, you need to protect those assets from bumbling Biden's insanity with the timeless value of gold and silver. Click on that link below and talk to our good friends over at Goldco. They're patriots just like us, and they want you to succeed so much. They're offering up to $10,000 in free silver if you open up an account with them. But that is a limited time offer, so don't wait. Click on that link below or visit my special website, turleytalkslikesgold.com. When it comes to state governments, the star of the midterms was, of course, Florida. Republicans slaughtered the Democrats throughout the Sunshine State, amassing a supermajority in both the House and the Senate. DeSantis beat Crist by 20 points. In Montana, Republicans won a supermajority for the first time in Montana's legislative history. They won 70% of the House races and 66% of their Senate races. West Virginia, which voted for a Republican House and Senate for the first time in 80 years, only 8 years ago, now has a solid supermajority in both chambers of the legislature. In Kentucky, Republicans won 80% of their House seats. You heard that right, 80%. In North Carolina, the Republicans got a supermajority in their Senate, fell just one seat short of a supermajority in their House, but most of all, they flipped their notoriously liberal Supreme Court. We could go on and on. We had similar gains in Iowa, once a solid blue state. Now it is a Republican supermajority. Same thing in Ohio, Oklahoma. Of course, Texas continues to turn even deeper red. We flipped Supreme Courts. We flipped school boards across the nation. It was, while disappointing in that we didn't win the big races we were all hoping to win and didn't humiliate the Democrats across the nation like we hoped, there is no question that as of today, Republicans are far stronger than we were a week ago, and Democrats are far weaker. And that is exactly how Dr. DeQuinois ends his article with this exhortation. The GOP indisputably stands stronger now than it did a week ago. It should stop wringing its hands, disband its circular fire squad, get to work, and keep winning. And that, my friends, is precisely what we're going to keep doing here on this channel from here on in. As always, make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button, and you will definitely want to check out my latest video, the proven ballot harvesting strategy that promises to crush the Democrats in 2024. You're not going to want to miss that. So make sure to click on that link, and I'll see you over there. God bless.